Welcome back, YouTubers, to another Come Follow Me vlog, Dining with Aspie vlog, or Travel with Aspie vlog, if you will. Previously you have seen maybe Father-in-law and I doing some activities out in Rotorua, and there'll be some more activities to be had and some fun and games hopefully maybe later on in the piece, so stay tuned for that. But in the meantime, at this point in time, if you've been following me, I have been just doing the Dining with Aspie quick short video series of where we went for dining experience and what have you, and giving a quick overview. So if you haven't seen any of them at the moment, it'll be listed in the description as well as in the iCard, as well as some of the places with the map above me, and especially this one I'm about to bring out, which is based on the Taupō Bistro or Bistro Taupo out in Taupo, which will be a map above me as well as in the description. So if you're into looking for any fine dining, some of these places are well recommended, and that this one especially, Taupō Bistro, is obviously located outside the lake on the back front of it, and that insaneness that for their services was pretty darn good. As we came in, they were warm and welcoming, and they also insaneness, they sat us down, and obviously inside we felt like we were the only ones there, obviously indoors, because most of them were dining outdoors with sort of fire or something going on. But that was fine, because as you got to be our mind also, day that Father Lyle decided, or shall we say those few days especially, we decided upon, he wanted to do it before winter, because now in New Zealand we're in winter obviously, and that's he was saying to me beforehand that he was hoping for this as a surprise for me when I was doing my other trip that you may have seen me doing with my group that I was with, Taupō, which I'll link in the icon above me as well as in the description to find out more about my trip and what I got up to. But in saying this, basically for this, the Taupō Breakfast stuff, as I said, they were warm and welcoming from the very beginning, obviously from the start and finish of the service. And like after they actually gave us our drinks, they gave us a few minutes to decide what we wanted for entrees, mains, dessert, and I'll show you right now what Father Lyle and I got. As you can see from what we had, obviously they were pretty darn good, obviously regular size portions and whatnot. The price point for this was actually quite good for us. We believe that despite it all, as we agreed upon before we did this trip away, that we were going to go halves anyways based on our activities as well as our dining experience. So if you want to see any of this sort of meals, they are really good. They've got various options for you guys. There are some dinner options for the ones that has certain dietary requirements. If not, then don't quote me on this. You can always ask them when they take your order down anyways if you've got certain dietary requirements, be it if you're a vegetarian, vegan, and what have you. I'm sure they'll be able to go above and beyond, like the other one basically of Max Steakhouse previously of what I mentioned, because they obviously went up. Like I said, I recommend them, and I want to thank this team there for, you know, hosting us as patrons as we were dining. So this is the end of part 3 of the Dining with Aspie series, and there's about 2 more before we carry on our next part of our travels, which I'll share with you, and also in saying this, that I'll be sharing with you where we stayed in our last travels, as well as if there's any activities that was on board. So stay tuned for that, and I'll be